Hey, you alright? Welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, my name is Georgia Jo and this is my channel where I talk all things books. So today I'm going to do my March TBR. As always, February went extremely quickly and we're already looking into what books to read in March. I am going to be doing my TBR jar again. I have put a load of new prompts in it, but I wrote them out a bit ago and then just sort of left them there, so I can't really remember what I wrote. But there is quite a few. It's had a good freshen up, so yeah, I think I'm going to choose 6 books because I did quite a lot in my February one and I just not stuck to it at all. So I'm going to try and choose 6 and then there's a lot of room for mood reading as well there. So yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so first prompt we'll go with this one is a pink book. Okay, I definitely have some pink books. I'm going to choose all my prompts first and then I'll go and have a look at my books and get them out. I think because I've got so many books on my TBR at the moment, it's hard to sort of film in front. Like, I need to get it down so that I can just put them all in like a cart or on one. I've got like a little bookcase that I can use because yeah, it's just a little bit hard to film over there at the minute. So I'm going to choose the 6 prompts and then I'll have a look at my books. So first prompt, a pink book, and then the next prompt, we'll go with this one, a smaller one. I've just folded it a lot. We have got a fantasy. Okay, that's quite an easy one again. I'll be able to choose that. Next up we have, we'll go with this one. Starts with the same letter as this month. Okay, so M. So choose a book that begins with M. I'm sure I'll have some. I think with things like that, if the book's name starts with the or a, then I can ignore those. And you know, if it's like the March book, then I can use that, you know what I mean? Anyway, fourth prompt, we have got a book over 500 pages. I'm pretty sure I have some, well, I definitely will have some of those. So that's fine. At least that gets a big chunky book off my TBR, so that's fine. And then next, the penultimate one, we have, this is a long one. A book that you think will make you cry. Oh no. Okay, one sprung to mind straight away there. I don't really know of any others, but I will have a look. And then last but not least, we will go with this one. We have got, oh no, the longest book on my TBR. Okay, so we've got a book over 500 pages, a book that'll make me cry, a book that starts with M, a fantasy, a pink book, and then the longest book on my TBR. So I'll have to have a look at my Goodreads shelf for that. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna go and have a look, try and find books for these prompts, and I will see you in a minute. Okay, so I've had a look through my books, I've got my little pile here, and yeah, let's just go through them. So first one, we have got a book, these are not in the order that I picked them out, they're just in the order of how I've stacked them. Starts with the same letter as the month, so that was the letter M. And for that I have chose Misery by Stephen King. So I'm pretty sure this will be my first Stephen King book. So very excited for this. I do have I have a couple of Stephen King books on my TBR, but I've never actually picked them up. I think I'm quite intimidated by them because there's so many and he's such like a renowned author that I'm just a bit intimidated and a little bit scared to get into it. So, but I have heard people say that this is a good book to, if you want to get into Stephen King's writing, this is a good one to start with. So yeah, first book of March's TBR, Misery by Stephen King. And then next up we have a book over 500 pages. So I actually have a lot of books, it turns out, that are over 500 pages. So it was a little bit hard to choose, but I have gone for King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the first one in a duology, and I really want to get this duology read because it is, then I think I'll have got everything read in the Grishaverse then. I've still got Ninth House to read by this author, which is on my TBR. And obviously there's other books, but I think that is the Grishaverse done, I think, once I've read this duology. So yeah, looking forward to this, looking forward to getting back into the Grishaverse. I did enjoy the Shadow and Bone series and Six of Crows. I think everything was rated around 3 stars, so I did enjoy it. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what else happens in this world. Next up, we have got a book that you think will make you cry. I could only think of one, and I tried to find another one because I just don't want to read this book because I've heard so many people say that it's just like traumatizing, and I just don't know if I'm in the headspace for a traumatizing book, but we'll see how it goes. I do want to read it, and I would really love to have it off my TBR because it has been on there for a while, and it is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I'm so scared to read this book. I'm so scared. It's a chunky book. People say it's traumatizing. I feel like I'm going to be crying from the beginning. I'm going to get attached to the characters. It is only one book. I'm pretty sure it's not like a series or anything like that. So at least, you know, I'm not committing myself to a series. But yeah, I'm really scared. I don't know anything about this book. I literally could not tell you a single thing about it other than people say it's traumatizing and it makes them cry. So we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck for this one. Next up, we have got a fantasy. So I have quite a lot of fantasy on my TBR, but I didn't want to choose another chunky book because I feel like we've got quite a few, or we've got 3 at least chunky books on this TBR. So I did go for God Killer by Hannah Kana. This is the first one in the series. I do also have the second one, which I think is called Sunbringer, and then the third one, Fate Breaker maybe, comes out soon. So I would really like to get them read so that I can read the third one when it comes out. I don't know anything again about this series. I just know it was really popular at one point. I'm pretty sure I got this off Vinted. I think I got both of them off Vinted actually. But yeah, I don't really know anything about it, honestly, so I can't give you much information, but it is a fantasy, so that's why it got chose for this prompt. Next up, we have got the longest book on my TBR. So this, I've had to go around the rules a little bit because the longest book on my TBR, let me get it back up, is actually, so this is the 3rd longest book on my TBR because the first one is actually the second part to this book, and then the second longest book that I have is the 4th one in a series, and I've not read the other 3. So this is actually the 3rd longest book that I own. So I've had to sort of go around the rules a little bit there. And it is Priory of the Orange Tree. So the longest book that I have is A Day of Fallen Night, which is the prequel to this. So I guess because it's a prequel, I could read it before it, but this came out first, so I like to read stuff in like publication order. So yeah, I ended up going for this one. Again, I'm quite scared to read this book because it's very chunky, but also it's 845 pages, but also it's so loved that I find that intimidating in case I don't enjoy it, you know. But hopefully I will. I do have quite a few Samantha Shannon books on my TBR, to be honest, and I've not read any of them, so it would be really good to get this one ticked off. But yeah, this is technically the 3rd longest book on my TBR, but the longest that I can read right now. So yeah, that got chose for this prompt. I don't know anything about this. Again, did I just say that? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's got dragons in it. That's the only thing I know about it. So yeah, looking forward to getting into this new world, to be honest. And it's, as much as there's a prequel, I'm pretty sure this is like, it's not a series, it's just this one book, so everything gets tied up in this book and then there's a prequel. So yeah, very much looking forward. If I think of it like that, like this could be it could be a trilogy. What's that word? Trilogy? Yeah, trilogy. It could be a trilogy. It's just all in one book. So if I think of it like that, it's not too bad. It could just be 300-page books, you know. So yeah, looking forward to getting into this. So that is the longest book on my TBR. And then last but not least, actually the first prompt that I picked out, but the last book on this pile is a pink book. So I do have a few pink books, but I thought with the sort of selection that I've chose, a lot of them are fantasy books. So I've actually gone for, actually I'm not 100% sure what genre this is. I want to say it's like a mystery one. Anyway, it's Wayward by Amelia Hart. So it's based on 3 women from 3 different timelines, and I've read a couple of books like this before and typically quite enjoy them, so I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy this one. I think it is a bit of a thriller, a bit of a mystery I'm not really sure, honestly. 3 women, 5 centuries, 1 spellbinding story. So you've got Kate, who's in the present day, Violet, who's in 1942, and then Altha, who's in 1619. So yeah, really looking forward to it. I don't know if there are like family members, but this is the last one on my TBR, a pink book. I feel like it definitely fits that prompt. It's very pink. So yeah, that is the last one on March's TBR. And that is the end of today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you've read any of these books, let me know if any of them I should like read as soon as possible, or if there are any that you didn't really enjoy maybe, and I'll put them a little bit down the list. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you in a bit.